This is your weekly YouTube channel audit livestream. All you need to do is use the correct link in the description, fill out the form, and we'll consider your channel for review. That's right, channel reviews are free, but you can send us a super chat and watch us discuss your question live on air. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We will share with you our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a massive shout out and thanks to our moderators who do an awesome job every single live stream. And that's your onboarding done. What channels have you brought us this week?
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome back to vidIQ, or welcome for the first time. We are live every week doing a live stream where we look at your YouTube channels. You submit them, we pick them at random, and we give our first impressions, the impressions that you hope you would get if you uploaded your video out into the wilderness, except we are going to actually take the time to zoom in whether or not YouTube has recommended your channel to us. So, should be fun. We are kicking off our first stream of the year with myself and Mr. Rob. How's it going?
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2026. And it's good that we give you our impressions because let's face it, YouTube rarely does. So thank you. That's my first joke of the year. Let us know in the chat, what is your first YouTube goal of 2026? Mine is to just get through this live stream without making any major faux pas, mistakes, technical errors. We'll see how that goes. Dan, what is your first YouTube goal of 2026?
That was mine, but I made a whole bunch of errors just setting up the stream. And so I don't have to worry about this for the rest of the year, which is actually kind of nice.
Cool. Awesome.
So because there's going to be a bunch of new people, there's usually an influx of new viewers at the beginning of the year. Hello. We're going to give you a bit of a rundown, a bit of an extended rundown of how this works, partially because of my mistake, so it's a good excuse to do that. And also, if you are a VOD watcher, if you're watching this after it was live, you might as well just skip ahead to the first channel because pretty much everything we're about to go through is just for people who are here live right now, or maybe you want it for next week. So the way this stream works is we have a couple of forums. They are linked down below. One is for gaming channels. One is for non-gaming channels. If you are somebody who develops video games on YouTube, you're probably not a gaming channel. Gaming channels are people who do playthroughs and news and reviews about video games, specific video games. So I'm going to bring those forums up here, and you'll see that if I click the right button, there's not a whole lot of responses, and that's because I forgot to link these when the stream was supposed to, go up. So usually there's a lot more responses waiting for us. So that means we get to kind of start fresh. If you're here watching this live right now, you have the best chance to get reviewed. Usually this forum fills up with people who don't even show up to the live stream, which is really super rude of them. I don't care if they do that.
Yeah, what an opportunity there, Dan. Something else that also happens frequently for this live stream is we distract ourselves, often with a comment. This one in particular from Irate Garage tells us, freezing rain last night, so no work today. Working on thumbnails and watching vidIQ. What I want to know is what line of work causes you to not work because of freezing rain?
It's got to be something outdoors.
Or is it to do with automobiles? I'm curious. If you reply, I'll try and find a comment. But also, we do super chats later on. So if you have a specific question, or if you just want to share some love or give us some money, send us a super chat. We'll read them out later. I will confess, Dan, on the final live stream of last year, I entirely forgot to do any of the super chats. And I think somebody gave away 20 gift memberships as well. So whoever did that, thank you so much. And apologies to everybody who I just completely ignored. I just lost my train of thought because we were wearing Christmas hats and I was very hot.
Yes, and also we don't do channel reviews via super chat. So if you give us money and you're hoping we review your channel because I gave you $1,000, we don't put these behind a paywall because then people would just give us money to do this and we couldn't do it for free. So the way this works, other than just filling out the form, I want to just kind of like set the tone for the whole year. We have some very specific questions on this form so that people can explain to us in a little bit of more context what they're doing on their channel. So the first question is, and this is just the first channel submitted, don't get excited, paste the URL for your channel. Cool. What is the goal of your YouTube channel? Now, we don't we know you want more views. You're here. It's cool. This is helpful because we get to understand a little bit more about your audience, the people you're trying to reach. That's what we mean by what's your goal. Who are the people you're trying to reach with your content? So people interested in DIY woodworking. Your biggest obstacle. This is the thing you feel like you're struggling with the most. It can be 2 words, or you can go into a tiny bit more detail if you want to. Titles suck. And then what part of your channel do you want to focus on? Titles on long form videos. And this long form part's really helpful because people do shorts, they do long form. We really only have time to deep dive into like one or the other for the most part. So it's helpful to let us know, what you're mostly focused on. We could try to do both if you say so, but it's you get more value, I think, if you just give us your number one thing you're focused on.
What a cool boss that lets them take the day off when it's freezing rain. I like that.
I'm a welder.
Irate Garage, your boss is cool. Confirmed.
So that's how this form works. And it looks like it's already filling up with responses. So what I want to do is, because this first channel was actually filled out so nice and neat, is I will go to it.
All right.
We will check it out. First channel of the year is Build and Fix with Mooney, which does look familiar. I think we've looked at this channel before.
It doesn't ring any immediate memory bells for me, Dan.
Yeah,
but
they might just be around.
But hey, you are the first channel of 2026. Good work on nearly 70,000 subscribers from 250 videos. That's a good return on investment there. Dan, shall we scroll down to the packaging of the videos and see what we're looking at here?
Mooney thinks the titles suck. That's what we were told.
Right.
So, how to scribe wood to fit stone. Nobody shows this. DIY floating beam build to fit over stone. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell the truth. The truth about tongue oil. Nobody tells you. That's just hard to read in my brain and out loud.
The truth about tongue oil. Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister, that one. Okay, but I think what that does, though, Dan, is it represents a good, here's a word I think I understand, dichotomy between the functionality of the titles. Because a lot of these, I think, are designed to just ranking search. If a title starts with how to, then I presume you're trying to rank at the top of the search terms, evergreen content, everybody wins, let's all celebrate. That is a very difficult place to position yourself because it is so competitive. However, the truth about tongue oil nobody tells you, that feels more evocative. It has more of a kind of an emotional pull towards it for viewers who have this shared passion and have some like shared knowledge about tongue oil. I don't know what it is, to be honest, but presumably this audience does because it's an outlier. It's 5,000 views. So I want to say to this creator, I don't think your titles necessarily suck. I think you just have to appreciate your intention with these titles. Is it something that it's going to be a slow burn, but you're really trying to solve a specific problem for the viewer, in which case it's going to be search-based? Or is it something that you're really trying to speak loudly and confidently to that specific audience about something they share in terms of the experiences and knowledge? And that will have more of a browse-based traffic source. And once you understand that, then you can have these different buckets of content which allow you to appeal to these different types of viewers.
Absolutely. And I don't think your titles suck. I think it's good that you're trying to identify what you could be working towards. I will say the first video here, it's only 6 days old, and I don't know, this video has been out a month. Maybe it just took a little bit and then it popped up. In fact, we have our tools installed. We can kind of see its trajectory. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Wow. Maybe we need to explain what that actually is that we're seeing here.
I can't even see the graph. Okay. So first of all, our tools are.
It looks like like the YouTube real-time stats bar.
Yes,
it looks like that on our graph.
Okay, so we're looking at this right here on the right side. This is our tools. They're going to pop up all over YouTube when you install them. The link is down below. You can try them for free, and it shows us if we're like in research mode what people are doing with their content. And in this case, it leaves a little doot here whenever a title or thumbnail has been updated, and it saves the history of that, so you can see all the different iterations of this person's title and thumbnail. And usually you can see the graph from start to finish, but there's been so many title updates that they are covering half of the graph. But this video obviously started out somewhere under these, and then it did well after probably this title change.
A New York skyscraper worth of packaging changes. Can you just scroll down, Dan? Because I think hopefully what our tool will actually list is all of the actual individual changes. So if you scroll down, so title changes. So there they all are.
Yes. Wow.
Now,
where are we?
I guess what we could say is that I think there comes a point where you are testing so much that it's almost impossible to get any value from them. Like if you consider if you're doing like several title changes in a single day, it's probably not being reached by enough people or clicked on by enough people to have some definitive results. So, you know, we don't know how often this creator is doing it throughout all of their videos, but I think general advice would be here is if you're going to do testing, great, but the volume needs to be lowered down here. Like I'm just throwing out some kind of random suggestions here, like maybe one title change a day, but even that still feels excessive.
I think
slow down there.
My personal rule of thumb is if I change a title on a video more than 3 times, it's time to move on to another video. And that's to kind of like, you know, have discipline for myself so I don't get really wrapped up in an older video. Now, I don't want to like, they eventually stopped and the video started doing really well. And so I don't want to like sit here and go, you shouldn't have done any of this. Obviously, something here eventually worked. But what we don't know is the first title you did, which I guess I have to scroll all the way down here to see. The first title was How to Use Pure Tongue Oil Without Mistakes Easy.
So notice how that is a search-based title. And the title we've ended up with feels more or less browse-based, although it does still have, I guess, a keyword in there, which is, I'm going to guess here, tongue oil. But it's this kind of more evocative approach to it.
Yeah.
The ones that have a secret. This is when we talk about titling strategies. This is like the fear of missing out. Like I can tell you the truth about this, and you don't know it, which is exciting.
Yeah, it's like 2 huge differences. One is you need to know nothing about tongue oil, and then one is you need to have heard of tongue oil, but you know, you get that fear of missing out of like I don't know what I don't know, so I'll watch this video. So yeah, they are 2 completely different titles. Does the hook of your video support the latest title, or does it better support the first title? And this, you know, given the subject matter, maybe this isn't the best example. We can watch a little bit.
All right.
Different cans marked tongue oil, but the fact is most of them aren't tongue oil. Usually they're mixed with varnishes, solvents, and other things you may not even know about. But today we're going to talk about pure tongue oil, and a lot of people have trouble applying it, but I'm going to show you the easiest way that I know how. Never had a problem with it applying tongue oil. Hope's 100% pure tongue oil. Tongue oil is going to give you that rich, deep hand rub look they've been using for centuries. This board is older. Show you how I recoat this because it needs it. I'm also going to show you how I'm going to redo this cutting board.
There, Dan. I think this creator has a wonderful on-camera presence mixed with a lot of kind of spontaneity in terms of authenticity. You don't feel as if this person's necessarily needs to read a script or even plan. They just know their stuff. And so there's that magnetic connection, which I think is super valuable. Interesting strategy with the big subtitles at the bottom. I was wondering if they were just going to be on for the first few seconds, but it looks like it's going to be throughout the video. I don't have necessarily a big problem with it because it doesn't feel as if it's interrupting the content, and it's very easy to read with the drop shadow. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it still does connect with the packaging.
Yeah.
I think they've been able to bend and flex a packaging, having not broken it versus the hook.
Yeah. I'm going to say that like it's great that this title worked out. It's great the video's still performing. It kind of feels like though somewhere back here is the rest of your graph, and I feel like this video started picking up one of these earlier titles. Now don't change it. Everything's fine. It's still doing good. It's doing even better today. But I think this is a demonstration of just needing to be just a little more patient with the YouTube algorithm. Uh, it's a little frustrating when you post a video and nothing's happening and nothing's happening. I've had videos like just on this channel. I've had videos that did nothing, and then one day, boom, and it becomes one of the most successful videos on the whole channel. And YouTube is just weird like that. So sometimes it's just a matter of like pumping the brakes, letting the video sit. You got to focus on the next video. If my job was to do this many titles before a video got any amount of views that I was like proud of, I wouldn't do YouTube. This is too, I'm not even joking. This is too many titles. I don't like thinking of 3 titles to test in the title testing tool. I hate that. I'm not even using it anymore. So this many titles is so many titles. And I mean, I commend you for being so like on top of trying to get this video to do something. But I don't think even the first title was that bad. I think it, like you said, Rob, it's the difference between you had a search-based title and then you went towards like a browse-based title. And making that decision when you start recording the video is probably the best time to do it. So going to the video what your title is going to be and who you're targeting. Are you targeting new viewers who've never heard of you before with a very searchable topic, or are you trying to get the browse people who may not be looking for anything about tongue oil, but you pop this in their feed and they're like, oh, I use this stuff all the time, but maybe I should watch this just to make sure I'm using a good product. Those are 2 different intents completely. And going into the recording, knowing your intent is going to stop you from having to like update your title for 1,000 years.
I just want one more minute on this channel, Dan. Can you go to popular? Because I just want to check something about their best performing videos. I did have a little bit of a deja vu moment when I saw the no hole and circles. I feel as if this channel has maybe come across our auditing desk before, and noticing how they had this connection with cutting a perfect circle or sawing a perfect circle. And I think this is a topic that you could maybe repeat again semi-frequently, which becomes what we call one of your content buckets. So in that respect, what I guess the point I'm trying to get to, it might not necessarily be that your titles suck. I'm just borrowing a phrase here. It might be that your topic or content decisions suck because you're not continuing to feed the audience what they've already shown a lot of interest in. But I know, obviously, that you don't want to just saw circles for the rest of your YouTube life. I'm sure that would be perfectly boring, if that makes any sense. So yeah, if we go back to latest, Dan, just to confirm that theory. DIY floating beams, the truth about tongue oil, cutting perfect circles, how to build the strongest little step stool. Some of these are kind of like building specific things like benches and chairs, whereas others I feel like they're more skills that are required for general DIY. So that's something also to think about as well. And just as a final point here, you've seen us using just casually some of our tools here, like the outlier tool, and then seeing how many changes have been made to the titles and the thumbnails. These are all part of a Chrome extension, and I think both of those are completely free tools as well. So if you're wondering, if you're new here and you're wondering what those tools are, those are the Chrome extension tools here at vidIQ. Just search vidIQ Vision on Google. You'll find it, download it, start using it, enjoying it. Change your world.
The last thing I want to say, and this is just for kind of everybody, YouTube has this way of forcing you to kind of like keep making the same type of content over and over. It's kind of a lot of the advice we give is like, you should double down on things that are working. But sometimes you don't have like that thing that, you don't have that thing to say every single week, right? It's going to change. Like the projects are evolving a lot on this channel. And I think it's because Mooney is like remodeling a house. Like the projects are coming up and you're making videos out of those projects. So I respect that, like coming up with new titles and thumbnails when you're going from, I remember the garden bed video, like you're going from projects like this to projects like this. And these are practical for you in your day-to-day life, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but I'm saying that because of the type of channel you are, I think what you're experiencing is a very normal problem. And I don't think, you should be beating yourself up over like, because you think your titles suck and things like that. I think part of the issue is just running a DIY channel like this when you're also trying to be practical about it, assuming that's what you're doing, is difficult. YouTube works one way, but the real world works another way. Tech channels review all kinds of products. If you go to visit them at their warehouse, they have a whole warehouse full of products they don't actually use because they were just for a review video that one time, So it's practicality versus the real world. It's just YouTube is just this whole different beast. So try to find a balance. Don't beat yourself up. I think you're doing a really, really good job overall.
Agreed. Especially with the number of videos I've done.
Yes.
250 videos, approaching that silver play button. Good work. Good work.
Very good work. All right. We're going to look at a gaming channel now. We'll bounce between these two forms throughout the stream, and we'll go ahead and pick the first one. They said the goal of their channel is to make content people can't get anywhere else.
Oh,
interesting goal. What do you think your biggest obstacle is right now? Making content I think is worth watching. Okay. Did I fill this out? And then what what part of your channel was focus on thumbnails and long form? Okay. So we'll look at the first gaming channel of the year. It is BWL Sticks. They have 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations.
Nice.
They're doing gameplay and gaming memes. And they want us to look at their thumbnails and their titles. Or let me just confirm. And long form videos. Got it. Okay. So let me just try to take this in for a minute. Running park with randoms went crazy. Cold Snap wasn't ready for my 7FT demigod. Okay. So the only reason I think this might be the game Skate is because of the older videos that say skate and they're on skateboards. But this could also just as easily be Grand Theft Auto 5.
Well, suddenly after a minute of looking at this, I think the most recent videos are NBA 2K26.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So we've gone to basketball.
Yeah. So that is an issue. Like, you want to make sure that when you're putting out videos, they are recognizable to the people who know that thing. So like Mooney is building with wood and things like that, and like using different oils on cutting boards, and it's all very easy to kind of like your brain starts to tell the story before you even read the title. With this, I have to kind of decode what game you're playing first, and then I have to read your title. Running park with randoms went crazy.
Yeah.
You're pointing at somebody. It says not trash. Now I don't play this game, so maybe this is a depiction of a popular player who's usually trash, and you're saying they're not trash, or maybe this is someone you met online, so it's just their avatar. But either way, like, I'm just not getting enough signals as to like
putting it signals.
Yeah, what I'm gonna get. Like, running park with randoms went crazy. It seems like something fun happens, but it's just not being packaged in a way that I understand.
The messaging of the packaging is either too, well, in this case, inside basketball, not inside baseball, or just like not welcoming or accessible to a broad audience. So going back to their form, when they're saying that they want to make content that people want to watch, the packaging isn't enticing me to want to watch because I'm confused rather than intrigued. So I think that the main messaging here right now is simplify your messaging, be a lot more clear and obvious. And that includes things like, because as you said, Dan, when we have this character with the basketball shirt but the cycle helmet, it makes you think like this is a character in a game like Grand Theft Auto where they've just built like a custom outfit for them. And so you kind of led down this garden path before suddenly, you just realize the little logo in the bottom left-hand corner. Right, okay, I think it's about basketball, but I'm still not sure because I'm not seeing any basketballs or the court predominantly in the thumbnails. So it's like the first thing you have to establish when you see a thumbnail in the first like millisecond is, it's about basketball. And then I can start to understand a bit more of a nuance, but I'm not getting past that first step at the moment.
Yeah. I do want to look and see what you're doing in the videos, but before I do, I like the idea of somebody saying, I'm trying to make content you can't get anywhere else. Now, the biggest issue, in my opinion, with the like gaming let's play side of YouTube is that a lot of people turn on the camera and just record. And I always call that kind of like off the shelf gaming, meaning like if I buy the game and I were to just play it, is my experience going to be very much different from you, the YouTuber who's just recording you playing it? Did you just pull the game off the shelf and hit record? And as long as you're trying to find ways to add stakes and challenges or something like that to make your content more interesting, give me something I wouldn't get if I were to just buy the game and play it myself, then I feel like you're going to be doing something that I can't get anywhere else. And I always go to like this example, crossing Zelda in a straight line. Now, this is, Doug Point Crow. They do content together all the time. They both did their own versions of this, kind of like trolling each other. But I like this because it's so easy to explain what my point here is, which is we all know what Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild looks like. We know this is Zelda as soon as we look at it, and we see a line going straight through it. We already kind of know what the video is about, again, without reading the title. They're playing Zelda. They're not playing it just because. They're doing a specific silly thing in Zelda. And it, everything is working here. It tells a story. We kind of, we get the point right away. And this is content I feel like I can't get, quote, anywhere else. This is not going to be my experience playing Zelda. This is going to be me enjoying someone playing a game that I like, but in a different way, challenging themselves in a new way. So for you, that could be, what if you played NBA 2K26, but you never touched the basketball? You only block people to try and win for your team. Like you find ways to play the game differently, and you try and show that as best you can in the title and the thumbnail. That's what you're doing today. So just an example. Let's watch a little bit and just see kind of how this video feels.
Yo, what is up, YouTube? Welcome back to some more 2K content. Before we get into the video, I just want to let you guys know we're doing a 200K VC giveaway at the end of this month. The way to enter is to subscribe and comment giveaway underneath this video. Without any further ado, let's get straight in.
I'd say that should be at the end of the video for a couple of reasons. One, it's not meeting the title or the thumbnail. And two, I don't like giveaways as like a growth strategy. And I think what happens when you do this is like people are clicking away kind of early on your videos. So you're front loading the giveaway, hoping that they stick around, but they're going to stick around to your channel waiting for the results of the giveaway. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to watch your content regularly. So if you're growing your subscriber base by doing giveaways all the time, it's not building a community. I think you should do the giveaways at the end of the video for your community, the people who watch the whole video. Those are the people who deserve a giveaway, right? If we're to put that word on it. I don't know how you feel about it, Rob, but that's the first thing I'm clocking here.
I would, again, go back to the form and the desire to create content that people just can't get anywhere else. Right now, in the evolution of your channel, this felt like a very, to borrow Dan's phrase, off-the-shelf YouTube intro. What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a giveaway, etc., etc., etc. Like loading more and more, like, I guess, YouTube intro tropes on top of each other before the video actually gets started. So, again, the fact that I guess the good thing is that you are kind of studying YouTube in the sense of you're trying to figure out how to welcome the audience into the content, but it does feel quite formulaic so far.
I would have loved to see the intro say something like, hey, today I'm going to see how many games I can win playing with only randoms. Can I win 3 games in a row? Like, you just give yourself like a little challenge like that. And then you get to just play the game as normal from there, documenting how it went. But that would make the title mean more with your intro. Instead of a giveaway, you're immediately setting the premise of the video, which is like, playing with randoms is awful, isn't it? Well, I'm going to see if I can win 3 games in a row with random strangers on the internet.
I mean, randoms and crazy are the two, I guess, pull factors in the title, trying to intrigue you and get you interested in the concept here. And again, we're 10 seconds in. We just haven't got any of that so far.
Into it.
Okay. So no commentary yet other than the intro. So I'm guessing we're just getting kind of reaction commentary.
Nothing so far, just yet. Jump. I'm not hearing anything. So I think we need to pause it there, Dan. I think, again, this creator needs to have a running commentary, talking about the plays that you're doing, maybe some stuff about yourself, like why you're interested in this game, why you've decided to play with randoms, why that was a crazy moment. I'd be struggling to contain my interest in the video if nothing is happening other than the sound effects from the game.
Yeah. There's a lot you can do here. If you can't commentate and play good basketball, that makes perfect sense. As someone who's made a lot of gaming videos, I totally respect that. But in that case, you should be recording everything you do and then going back and editing over it and just talking us through the game. You know, like literally like commentate your own video after it's been recorded and cut out any parts that are boring. And that's more work. What I'm describing is a lot more work, but that is probably, I imagine, what some of your competition is doing. That is how you stand out more, and you get to control the narrative. Like I said, if you really set this up as like a challenge where you're saying, how many games can I win playing with randoms, you get to like pull the strings that entire video and set up different storylines. You can open up different curiosity loops in the middle of the video. Like it looks like you're not going to win you're on your third game. It's like the last, what is basketball quarters? It's like the last little bit of the game. Time is running out, and it looks like you're going to lose. And you can do all kinds of fun stuff with the edit when you have more control. But right now, you're just kind of like quietly playing the game and relying on the hope that really awesome plays happen. So it kind of like makes the video exciting to watch. You're letting the game control the entire conversation, where you could be doing that.
Oh yeah, I like the way you phrase that, Dan. You're letting what you're recording control the narrative rather than you expanding or transforming it in a way. Yeah,
I'm on fire today.
In that case,
yeah,
bomb.
I'm feeling really good about the gaming 2026 video. Seems like people are liking it.
Yeah,
worked really hard.
Good start, Dan. Well done.
Yeah, so check that out if you want more of my thoughts and opinions about the different types of gaming channels there are and how I feel like you can win depending on the kind of content you make. All right, so
is this, just to interrupt as I usually do, Dan, is this the 6th year now or is it the 5th sequel?
I think it's the 6th, because I did one in 2020.
Yeah.
So I think this is the 6th time.
Nice.
And I asked in that video, so if you could leave your comment there, if there's another creator you want me to reach out to for this year's, going into next year's video.
Either any Austin.
I've mentioned him enough to where I should probably try and reach out. All right, so I guess at this point we just kind of pick randoms. But Rob likes to take a break at this moment in the stream to talk about video games.
Yes.
What did you play over your holiday break?
Well, Dan, come on.
No. What did you just go into it? You don't have to do anything else.
Hold on. Like, we've got to give these new viewers the full experience. Right?
Button mashing hearts collide. In this corner, we take the ride from 8-bit lands to the galaxy far. Rob's gaming corner is the brightest star.
I'm sure wherever Jen is right now, resting and relaxing, she took a moment out of her resting and relaxing to just bang out the chords there and the vocals. What in the AI? Yes. Oh, there might be some more as well. I know AI Dan, he's the best. So this is a point in the live stream where we just detach, decouple, get away from YouTube for a moment to talk about what you've been doing when you're not creating content. Now, for a lot of us, it's playing video games. So let us know in the chat what video game you're playing right now and, rate it. Real world out of 10. It was 10 out of 10 is the best in that case. Or if you don't game, that's perfectly fine. Maybe you read, you hike, you dance, you canoe, you do some DIY. Let us know how you've been passing the time when you're not pressing record. Dan, it's been a while, and we also had last week off with it being Christmas, New Year. So is this a bumper video game update, or are you still just playing Pokemon or whatever game it was? I can't remember.
I've been playing back to Final Fantasy 14, which is an MMO.
That's the online one, right?
Yeah. And also, I've been playing Pokemon. I've been going back. I'm playing Pokemon Gold, the old one. So that's been fun. And yeah, I didn't... I played like a good chunk of games over the holidays, but got some other stuff done too.
So for me, gosh, I'm trying to remember now. Super Mario Galaxy 2, I think, was the game I was playing. And it's one of those games, Dan, where you complete it and then it kind of cheats by saying, well, if you play it all over again and just do things a little bit differently, you kind of complete it for the second time. And so it required me to find another 120 stars after I'd already found 120 stars. But I did it. I found them and I enjoyed them. And then there was a brutally difficult level at the end. And I thought, this feels like the end of Silk Song. And I've really enjoyed it. I'm just going to peace out at this point and just say, I'm not doing this last bit. It's annoying and frustrating. So Mario Galaxy 2 is done. And we're on to Cyberpunk 2077. I'll confess, I did not get on with Witcher 3. And I thought I was not going to get on with Cyberpunk either for the same reasons, because the story is so dense and there is so much text and so many items and inventory and management that it would put me off. And there was a bit about 10 hours in, Dan, where you get to the end of like an act and there's just 2 hours of story, just walking around, talking to people, cutscenes. I almost gave up at that point, but now it feels like I've just been dropped in with tons of missions and stuff. And I'm just saying to myself, Rob, don't bother reading the text that you don't want to read. Skip the cutscenes that you're not interested in. Just play the game how you want to play it to enjoy it. And I think I'm going to persevere. It also feels like it's going to be a very long game. Like I could be at this until the middle of February. And I've got Metroid 4. I've got Expedition 33. I've got Borderlands 4. I've got Zelda Tears of a Kingdom. I've got tons in my back catalogue to work through this year. So I'm going to be busy. I don't know about you. Busy.
Yeah. That's how I play 14, is I skip all the cutscenes and all the dialogue, which upsets my friends who love the game very, very dearly. They're so mad at me for doing that, but I can't enjoy the game and listen to all that story. Sorry, it's too much exposition. Just let me fight stuff. So totally understand where you're coming from there.
Yeah.
All right. So that was our quick break to talk about.
Thank you for my indulgence, everybody.
Some games. We will now start picking folks at random. So there's already 153 responses on the non-gaming form. I'm just going to go ahead and click this button and click this button. It's going to tell us to go to 106. Wow. Not a claw. Not really. It picked a good number. Sethy, 150. The goal is I'm doing this for the love of the game. It's been a passion of mine. Awesome. Biggest obstacle, emails for audio requests. I think they're being missed accidentally by CTOP. Okay. We're going to have to look at the channel to understand. I have no idea. What part of your channel was focused on getting attention to help make my own series 150, The Aftermath. Okay. So we're going to need to understand this. I'm going to guess they are doing...
Not gaming channel, right, Dan? It said...
Not a
for the love of the game. That's just a phrase, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I think they're doing an animated something, and they need voice actors, maybe. That's where that's coming from. That's just my guess. So there's videos and there's shorts. I was right about animation.
There we are.
I'm going to assume the shorts are just, condensed versions of the long form. So I'm going to focus on the long form.
Yep.
And they actually have some views here.
They do, yeah. It's encouraging to see from an animation channel, which is what appears to be original IP. So they're not trying to do, I guess, fan art or work of existing properties. So that means that they have to build up this audience, and they seem to be doing that. We just haven't posted in a couple of months. Be curious as to know why.
I'm looking at the thumbnails, I'm looking at the titles, I'm seeing a lot of views in the thousands. I'm starting to wonder if, and not to be rude, we'll check into this, if they are using the promote feature. Just because I'm having trouble knowing what's going on. This could be for somebody, and I could maybe just be missing the point. But the way we check this is we usually look at the engagement. So there's 13 comments for 4,000 views, and there's 124 likes. So this engagement feels right-ish.
Yeah, feels okay. Yeah.
So that's good. That means you're getting some organic traffic, hopefully, and like you're not using the promote button. We are What do I, how do I want to say this? We don't like the promote button. I won't sugarcoat it. The promote button is, you could basically pay, your video becomes kind of an ad, and it gets shown to people who didn't necessarily ask to see it. And it makes the view number look good, and nothing else at all about that is good. No engagement, things like that. All right. Should we watch a little bit of one?
Yep. Okay.
All right.
It's Seatopia, the homeworld of the sea tops. Isn't it beautiful?
It's all water.
Isn't it miraculous? No, the land spells sea top. That's how it works. It's called science. Jeez. It's so beautiful. Oh, wait, there's nobody on it. Oh, sad.
Does that mean like you're like the last of your race?
Yeah.
Okay. So, kind of getting a sense of the comedy, the vibe.
I guess the one question is the barrier to entry for me is what the hell is C-top? Is this something I should be aware of? I don't know.
I don't know either. I keep asking myself that. I think that's the big question. It's the theme of the entire video, and I have zero clue.
It's in every title. C-top. Can we just search for C-top animated? Is this just their own invention, and so they're always going to rank for it themselves? Oh no, right.
Reacts.
C-top reacts. Right. So C-tops is a thing.
Oh, is it the creator and they're animating the creator's videos? So
I don't know.
Who? Let's see.
All right, Chris. All right, well, the cops told me I'm not allowed to put Chris in a giant shredder, so let's put other things in giant shredders.
Yeah, things that aren't me.
Look at that.
Okay, so this looks like a different YouTuber who uses the animated characters differently than the channel we're just watching, and this is their avatars. Instead of being on camera, they use these characters, kind of like VTubers. Interesting.
Okay.
So, are you this person? Probably not. So Sethi was the channel you're looking at. Do you have permission to be using their content, things like that? We ask those questions, not necessarily looking for you to answer anything like that, but I would make sure that somewhere they've said, hey, yeah, you can do that. That's cool. And a lot of YouTubers do that, so it's probably fine.
Can you just check down most popular? Because I just want to know if there's like a big outlier here that's dominating. Not particularly.
They got some views though.
Yeah, these ones have done okay. So maybe I was totally wrong about like original IP, and they are. What does the description say? Oh, look at that, Roblox. Is it a Roblox game?
Where?
I don't know. Well, because I've got a link to Roblox, so I just thought it might be a game.
No, I think literally like that channel, the C-Top channel might be playing Roblox or something like that. I think they are animating. You have to have seen somebody do this before, right? Like maybe a podcast you watch, like someone goes in and animates the conversation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're doing, which is totally fine. And it makes sense now that they say, I'm just doing this for the love of the game. They are enjoying having this outlet. So to that, I say, awesome. I don't know what advice to give.
There is a channel, Dan, called C-Top, and it's got 2 million subscribers.
Got it. Okay. Just the word C-Top.
Just C-Top, yeah.
Got it.
Well, I apologize, everybody. It took us a long time to get around to finding out what that actually is.
What's interesting about this channel is like they already kind of animate themselves, like when they have their character and stuff. But it looks like it is a gaming channel. And so what the channel we're looking at is doing is basically taking videos like these and animating the conversations. So this is a very community-driven project, the Sethi channel. And for this, it's really hard for us to advise. Because does this follow any of the conventional advice we would give? No, absolutely not. Can we apply that conventional advice? For the most part, nah, not really. I could say the thumbnails could do maybe a better job, but that could be just a skill up thing. The titles, as long as the community understands them, which it looks like you are getting traction there, there's not much I can advise there. And on your form, emails for audio requests, I think they're being missed accidentally by CTOP. Does CTOP know that you're doing this, and have you had direct communication? Because I think this is probably like a clue here. If this is something you're doing and CTOP has not like come after your channel or anything, they may not have a problem with you doing what you're doing, but they also might not want to participate. And if you're emailing them a lot and you're getting ignored, I would take that as an answer and just do what it is that you do, be part of the community. Because when you're reliant on someone else's content, you have to take what you're given. Like CTOP, unless you're being paid to do what you're doing, and I could be wrong, I don't know the inner workings, but assuming you're just doing this for fun and CTOP has never directly talked to you or given you permission or anything like that, like you have to take what you're given. If you're emailing them a lot and it's just not getting a response, that CTOP has a whole other thing going on. They just have their whole YouTube channel, multiple YouTube channels, it looks like, to focus on, and they don't have time to kind of like go in and I'm just assuming here, knowing a lot of big creators, they probably don't have time to go in and like help you with the videos you're making. So I don't know how to advise beyond that. I don't know if there's anything you want to add. This is a very unique channel for us.
Yeah, it's tricky. I was just having a look at the CTOP channel themselves, and what it appears to be is they have these characters that appear for maybe the first minute or two, and then they go into playing random video games. And I don't know if the story develops from there because I'm not listening to them. But as you said, Dan, it's strange how we started off his audit thinking it was completely original IP because we'd just not seen it before. But YouTube is so big, there can be channels that have millions of subscribers and we just have no idea who they are. And yeah, I think we're back to a conversation of this feels to be fan content. And so you are, to a certain extent, held, I can't think of a better phrase here, but you're held to ransom as to how involved that main creator is in the community, how willing they are to support you. And ultimately, if they go in a different direction, are you still ready to support it and such? So like, cool that you're building up skills here and so on and continue to do that. But you also may want to think about your own ideas for creating characters and content in the future if you're struggling to get the attention that you feel as if these videos deserve.
Yeah. The only growth advice I have from here is that if you were to do this for other creators where you take clips from their podcasts or gameplay or whatever and you animate those, again, make sure they're cool with that. And some creators will put that on their website or the Discord or whatever. As long as they give you some kind of permission, you could probably snowball your channel a little bit more because you'll be appealing to more fandoms and you'll become known as that person who does the really fun animations of all these different YouTubers. And if you watch CTOP, what are some creators that people also watch who watch that creator? It's probably pretty easy to find out because you're probably watching them because YouTube is recommending those channels to you. So that's the only real like tangible advice I can give to a channel that's doing something like this. Other than if you're emailing CTOP a lot and you're not getting a response, I'd say that's how I would treat that. I wouldn't respond if I felt like someone was constantly like emailing me, asking me for this, asking me for that. Not to be rude. It's just that you end up having a lot going on and they're probably getting a lot of emails. So that's it. That's the advice for this channel.
Yeah, let's move on, shall we?
All right, next channel. Actually, let's take another quick break from channels and look at some super chats because I know we got some coming in here.
Should I play the...
No, Jen's not here. You should save it for when Jen's
Jen answering.
All right.
Please. Okay. So no. Thank you so much for giving me Creator of the Year, Foxy's Lab. I wasn't here when that happened. I assume you're being honest, so you're welcome. I was in cold storage. But congratulations.
Well done, Foxy's Slab.
Enjoy it. Hopefully you win it again and again and again. Your channel just blows up. Leo Brenner, thank you. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Thanks for the super chat. Will there be Creator of the Week?
Well, will there be Creator Week?
Creator Week. Sorry, I was going to say you win.
Ask about that because we did one. We did one last year, correct? Yeah, we did a marathon live stream and had some guests on. I think that was Oh, when
It was January.
It was in January, and Leo Brenner here is reminding us of it. So maybe we need to get to work on that.
We've not had any plans for that. There's some other initiatives, so I don't know if that's what we're doing this year, but never say never. Podcast Studios. Podcast got cut off studios. My biggest problem is also my greatest strength. I like to talk about everything. Do you think algorithm will someday help channels without a niche? It's so interesting because I've been looking at this type of conundrum myself, especially for podcasting, whereby you want to talk about a lot of different topics. The one piece of advice that I can give you is that the collab feature on YouTube is one way to start kind of growing a little bit. But from my own very light testing, the views you get from one successful collab don't necessarily translate to views on your next video about a different topic, which makes sense because people are coming in for maybe that person you're talking to. You're collabing with another YouTuber. And then the next episode, you're collabing with a different YouTuber. So you'll get those people in, but you're going to lose the people who were watching the last episode. That is like one thing I've experienced in this kind of like testing. So I think when it comes to podcasts, especially given that there's so many out there, appealing to a specific niche is probably still the most winningest strategy there. Rob, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but it's interesting.
The first thing to add is I Googled DOP as a currency, and that is the Dominican peso. So thank you for 250 of them. How I would respond to this question is that it's not a case of the algorithm will someday help channels without a niche. The algorithm has been helping all sorts of creators, regardless of niche, since its inception. And I'll just pick out two random people where I think they talk about everything, that being Phil DeFranco, who talks about the news, but that could be anything in the news. It's kind of what he's interested in, and what he's interested in, he feels will be interesting to the audience that he speaks to. And also Moist Critical, like he jumps around all sorts of topics. It's more it's the cult of the personality. The people have fallen in love with the person, the creator themselves, and that what makes them the magnetic appeal of the conversation, regardless of what it is. So if you are able to effectively communicate your thoughts and opinions on whatever topic it is, and even make it interesting or funny or entertaining or inspirational in a consistent way that your audience really gravitates towards, then you have their permission, not the YouTube's algorithm, their permission to talk about whatever you want. But it is a challenge, and it's getting harder every day because more and more people are coming onto YouTube who are very good communicators. And I think that is the key skill when you do want to quote unquote talk about anything.
Yeah. Also, I do see that's Podcast Studios, but they've blended the two words together.
Yeah.
The capital S makes it harder to read.
It should be capital ST then, do you think? Would that make it more obvious that they've kind of blended two words together?
Maybe. I was wondering if it was all lowercase, it would be easier.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, good luck. It is tough. A through line is always important though. There's a podcast I've listened to in the past about scams, and that's their entire through line. And it's the way they tell the story about the different scam artists and the way they scammed. And now that lets you talk about a lot of different topics, but it's all under the umbrella of like, the story has to be where people got scammed, you know? So there's just different ways to kind of think about this. But good luck. Evax Solo. Where's Jen? Jen's taking a break this week. But thank you for the super chat.
I think it should be my turn to take a break next week, Dan. Like, because you were off just before Christmas. Jen is off after Christmas. What about me?
Well, okay. I'll be taking a break like maybe the week after that. So maybe that's what you should do.
Oh all right.
Debbie, thank you for being a member for 29 months.
My goodness, 29 months. We're going to be getting up to 3 years with these long-time members soon.
We should probably do something for members.
Yeah, well, they still get the custom sound effect.
Bruh.
For a week.
Money well spent. All right. Thank you for your super chats. We may not get to any more today, so spend wisely. And we'll go ahead and pull more random channels once I get the form up. Okay. So I'll click this button and see where I'm number 39. Wow. Not the block. I actually just looked at the time. So we are going to do this channel, but before I do, we forgot to mention memes of the week. Now I'm forgetting.
Oh, dear.
So, okay, memes of the week. The way this works is you meme us and we'll pick a meme from the Discord. There is a Discord. There is a channel called Memes of the Week. I will pull it up. And you go to this channel and you leave a meme. So we're going to give you a screenshot to work with, and you are going to then do whatever it is you're going to do. Be appropriate, safe for work, all that fun stuff, and we'll pick our favorite after a couple more channels. I think you've given them a lot there.
That's all I've got.
Okay. So yeah, sorry for not presenting that in the way we normally do. We don't have like a little video like we normally do. We'll make that next time. Essentially,
the story behind that is around about 45 minutes before the stream went live, Dan asked, are we doing memes of the week this week? And I said, oh yeah, but I forgot to do the memes of the week for Christmas when Jen and I were wearing some Christmas hats. So I'll do that. The problem is as well, I haven't done one for John either, Dan. So I've got like, well, at this rate, I'm going to have 3 different memes of the week to sort out. But
oh my gosh. Yeah, normally you play the video of last week's meme, so you have an example, but you're just going to have to be creative, I guess. All right, so the channel we're about to look at is called Resi KFC, I think. They want to grow a community while learning about sports and culture in different countries. Cool. Biggest obstacle is direction, having a game plan for the future, not knowing how to transition into the next phase without upsetting my base viewers now. Okay, classic conundrum here. And then what part of your channel you must focus on? Opportunities to take to the next level. Can I bring in other countries to my channel without losing viewers I have now? Okay. Take a look. They have 11,000 subscribers.
Resic FC, not
Resic FC.
Not Resi KFC.
Sorry. I tried. Okay.
It's a React channel then. Getting that immediately from the style of thumbnail, which is creator reacting often open-mouthed or in a moment of surprise, and a block of text. I think what I will say just about the thumbnails as a bit of early feedback is they're quite flat. And what I mean by that is there's nothing that kind of dominates the thumbnail more than anything else. So my eye is not sure where to look first. And sometimes the spacing on the text makes it a little more difficult to read. So yeah, just some thoughts there. But wow, look at some of these views, Dan. The ones from like the second row here. American reacting to cricket for the first time. Americans first time watching funny South African commercials. So I think the through line here is, and this, we're talking about in the super chat, like how can I talk about anything? This person is able to talk about anything by putting it under the umbrella of American reacts to. And so that gives you a certain connotation. Like there's this idea that maybe Americans aren't well traveled and so like they're very insular and they don't care about anybody else. And I'm not just saying that due to recent events. And like this has kind of been a known thing for what feels like generations. And so this idea of American exposing themselves to different cultures and countries is their through line, and that's quite an intriguing approach. And so, yeah, they seem to have found that through line, and with it being React content, they're able to do it very, very frequently. Like we're talking several videos a week, it looks like.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because they talked about sports and stuff, but it does feel like they go outside of that.
Yeah.
Every now and again.
Is it mostly sport and a bit of food?
Maybe, because this is some of the like this one. This is about watching commercials. So that went out. You went outside of sports for that. So I don't see why you couldn't go outside of the country you're looking at for other.
I've noticed that they seem to have targeted South Africa specifically in quite a lot of their content as well.
Yeah,
American reacting to South African sport and culture. I'm wondering if it's because it's an English-speaking country that they feel as if they can have a good connection with our audience. Although
Yeah.
there are languages there that we can see, understanding Afrikaans language.
I think if you were to show like a sport that was really unusual and you would react to it, it wouldn't matter what country it was in. It would just be like an American reacting to something they've never seen before. That is probably completely normal for that particular culture. I don't think you're really tied down. Now, maybe you've tested this before. I'm just taking in the channel for the first time, so maybe you've already kind of found that South Africa is like, a part of the world where if you make videos about it, you get views.
Mm.
And I can see the hesitation there, but it might just be that you tried other countries a couple times and it didn't work, but that wasn't necessarily because of the other country. It was because the idea for that particular video wasn't hitting as hard. Like you have videos that have 29,000 views and 5,000 views. And again, that doesn't, South Africa, country didn't matter here. It was
and this is rugby. This is South Africa and specifically rugby union, which was quite specific there.
Yeah.
And they did well.
So, and then this one, you're just reacting to a town. So I don't think you need our permission to kind of like go outside the box a little bit. People are interested in your reactions. It seems like sports and other cultures in general are the through line.
I'm just wondering, is it worth Dan? Have they tried doing any reactions to any countries other than South Africa at all, or are they too afraid to do that? Are they asking our permission? So we'd have to do a search on the channel, really, wouldn't we? We'd have to just search France or Germany or Canada.
Yeah, we just have to start guessing.
Well, we can use the magnifying glass to search at the top. That'll just search within the channel.
Yeah, but I mean, we just have to guess countries.
So let's just guess one. Let's guess France.
Okay, South Africa versus France.
It's still South Africa, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about UK?
Well, look at this. My mind is blown. Americans' first time watching rugby. This doesn't have any country in the title.
But it's rugby, though. I think another through line I've noticed here is the specific sport is rugby union.
So, what was your question?
UK. I just want to know if I've reacted to UK.
UK South African barbecue.
No, that's a little bit here. So some UK, Australia. Wow, that's interesting. If we were only getting 200 views 10 months ago, so can we just go to the video and go to the videos and sort by oldest? So we started the channel a year ago. Wow, that's phenomenal growth.
Yeah. I think
maybe watch one of these videos.
Yeah,
one of the more recent ones.
Yeah.
Because it started with soccer here at the very beginning.
So like here?
Well, let's find one that's accessible, one that we might be able to understand.
Yeah.
Like the South African commercials. Maybe we try that one.
Okay. I'm always worried when something says
you can't say that. Yeah. Should we risk watching that?
I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that one. Okay. Well, it's on YouTube, right? YouTube didn't.
All right. But we'll pause it and apologize.
Recommendations down in the comments to check out some funny South African commercials. So I'm going to check them out. Commercials can be funny. If you guys like this type of content, as always, hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you want to come along.
Pause there, Dan. Just very. This is very community driven, isn't it? Like it's starting the video by saying, "You guys asked me to react to some commercials, South African commercials," and in terms of return viewers, I think that's going to be really, really powerful. So again, I think what we need to consider here is if you are wanting to take some kind of risks, there may be videos where you kind of just have to say to yourself, you know what? I am intentionally not going to appeal to my regular audience here. I'm going to do a react, and it's going to be something a little different. And I'm almost going to speak to my non-audience and kind of make it either more simple or more welcoming. And that's just something to consider a little bit. If most of their videos start with it being community driven.
Yeah. I'm going to say production-wise, I think you should get a light that points at the top of your head. You're wearing a dark hat on a dark background, and it's just kind of all blending together. I think if your lighting in your space where you're taking your thumbnails was improved, which I assume this is what that is, it would help improve your thumbnails.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking of maybe countering and saying, what if in this case, Dan, the audience just doesn't care, and that it kind of almost feels more authentic, kind of raw. It's not overproduced.
It's not making or breaking anything. We talked about the thumbnails, and I noticed that. So
yeah, it's a fair point.
It's like a little level up. But okay, so yeah, I almost feel like we've seen kind of enough. I also want to point out 3 days.
No, come on, we need to watch a bit more. Come on.
No. We can. 3 days, and for this channel size, relatively speaking, not much was happening, and then boom, no title changes.
Nice pickup.
It just kind of went into the algorithm.
Me on my journey, come along with me, come with me, watch. Yeah, those type of things. If you want to join me, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. I'm really curious to see. I love funny commercials. The Super Bowl here for the NFL is like the highlight of the season for cool, funny commercials. So I'm curious to see what funny South African commercials are. All right, let's check this out.
Is it just me, or there's a bear here holding an Easy Bucks popcorn chicken shaker from...
He's got a freaking bear. Are there even bears in Africa? Is that a stupid question? Don't think of bears in Africa.
Okay, so this is the way, in my opinion, you should be reacting to content, by the way. Like pausing it and adding your commentary throughout instead of just like watching the whole thing quietly. So that was kind of something I was looking for. I think they're doing a good job. Have we seen enough? I think we get the vibe.
Yeah, you know what I'm wondering here is that some people may be watching this content and thinking, the production values don't seem to be that high. Like it doesn't feel as if there's that much structure to the content. Like it's not that well edited. Like why is this channel? Why are these videos performing so well? I think the answer to that is it feels as if this person, whether consciously or subconsciously, knows their target audience and exactly how to speak to them. Because I can feel that. It's like, I don't know if you would call it an energy, because it wasn't high action, high octane, but it felt like it was very in line with the audience that they want to speak to, of a particular age, particular demographic, a particular kind of interest. And I could feel that. Is it annoying to use this word so often? I could feel that authenticity just oozing out of them without it actually being visible, if that makes sense.
I do too. No, I completely agree. I would say don't be afraid to try to react to different things that you feel like fit the through line, the vibe. I don't think if you were to start reacting to content from another country that you're going to upset your audience. I think the thing that is worth noting, like you said, Rob, is that like if English is the dominant language in that country, that is the thing that makes it easier for you and your audience to react and understand what's going on. So if you start watching videos from a country that just natively English is not the first language, you're going to struggle to react to it. And like, I think people will only be able to watch for so long somebody watching somebody who doesn't know the language, and they don't know the language. But that's probably what you have to look out for. I don't necessarily think you are like stuck necessarily like looking at just one type of content or one type of country. You've already kind of proven to yourself that you can kind of go outside the content bubble by not looking at sports all the time. Next up, try different countries.
And it feels like, given the cadence that you're running at, I don't think any test or experiment is going to have a significant impact or damaging effect.
Right.
Because you know the content that works. You know the buckets that already work for you, but you probably found them through experimentation, because, you know, as we saw, the earliest videos you made were about soccer. Well, somehow you ended up on South African rugby as like a tier bucket for you. And you're only going to find more of those buckets by doing experimentation here and there.
Yeah. Okay. So one more channel, and we're going to look at memes. So that's your one channel warning.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look at a gaming channel. 72
from oops. Wrong button.
Okay. The goal is to build a community around horror game lore The biggest obstacle is competing versus already established creators in the same niche, like Gaming Harry. We'll talk about this a little bit. And then what part of your channel you want to focus on? Is my niche still viable? Okay. I'd say if you have a competitor in the same space and they're doing well, then yes, that should answer that question. So it's called Her Sunsetter. They have 200 subscribers, 211 videos. Now, so I'm curious.
Yeah. Who is it? Who's the inspiration here?
So 520,000 subscribers, 584 videos, hundreds of thousands of views. I would say your niche is viable. If this is your direct, if you are looking at this person's direct competition and you feel like your videos and their videos are very similar, I wouldn't worry about the viability. I think it's good that you've niched down. So I do, before I even get into this, I do still want to talk about the competition part too. Other channels who are doing like a similar game to you, if you kind of fit that mold, YouTube will recommend your videos alongside theirs and all ships kind of rise. Maybe you don't get the same views the other channel gets, but it's actually good to have channels that are kind of doing something similar to you, because if they're not, that means you're reinventing the wheel and doing something no one's ever really looked for or no one understands. Like, I wouldn't look necessarily at those channels as competition in like a negative sense. I would look at it as like maybe somebody who maybe one day you could collab with, you know, like they're in the community that you're in. And that ultimately, I just don't want anyone who has a channel like this, like in their head about that. I think you should be excited that there's other people in the space. Hopefully there's reasons for you and those other creators to work together at some point. All right. So I made every wrong decision and survived the nights. Kind of like that as a title. The thumbnail is not really saying wrong decision though. So that is one thing I'll point out.
Yeah. What would be like the biggest wrong decision you made? Like not going in, starting the game with a correct weapon.
I didn't close a door.
You've unbound the run key, so you can only walk away from your danger.
Yeah. I think this starts to tell a story, but the thumbnail doesn't really deliver on it. Thumbnails in this channel kind of start to feel like an afterthought the more I look at them. Explain the dark folklore behind Christmas Story horror game. It's just a little verbose, this title, and the thumbnail's just not really doing much. Is anything real? The floor above demo. I would say if you're playing a demo, brand new game, I would just give more of your reaction to it. Like, this was the worst demo I've ever played for a horror game. You know, something like that. Something a little more opinionated.
My general concern here, Dan, would be that they've made 200 videos at this point. And it looks as if each of these videos takes a while to make, because the cadence is 1 or 2 videos a month. And, you know, when we looked a year ago, there is the odd outlier here and there, the tragic story of Among Ashes, how to get all 13 cups in Demon Blood. That seems like a tutorial on a very specific game, so that probably had some search traffic. But if you go to the most recent videos and the view counts that they're getting, it just doesn't seem as if there's any momentum being built or any traction. So it does start to suggest to me that whether or not there's niche is still viable, there's something not viable about your strategy right now. Yeah. And the strategy was, I think, like covering the folklore of different horror games. And Gaming Harry is an inspiration. It looks as if they don't just cover horror games. Like I'm seeing Fallout 4. I don't know if you class that as a horror game and such. And then Ghost of Yoti, that's definitely not a horror game. So they have, I guess, permission, a license to talk about whatever they want because they've got like an established audience.
I'd also say they're covering stuff that I've heard of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
it's definitely niche stuff, wasn't it, on the Hero channel that we're not aware of?
Yeah. I've heard of a lot of these games. Ghost of I'm not gonna butcher this. Yoti. I don't know how to say that, but I've seen trailers and stuff. Story of Alice Madness Returns. I've played that. Disappointing Vaults of Fallout 4. Played that. There's there's a big like thing with anyone covering any games. If you're looking at more of the indie space or the new games that don't really have any name to them, you are like completely beholden to the marketing team of behind that game and the dollars they spent trying to get it on the map. That right there could be something to look at too.
Yeah.
So
shall we watch the latest outlier, which was the 80s mystery of Radiolite story explained?
Sure.
Just want to get a vibe.
Some stories aren't written in ink. They're broadcast in static. Radiolite is one of those stories. A haunting mystery set in
an Avatar then, not part of the game. I'm starting to guess
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. It's not doing much. I think the gameplay should be like running somewhere at some point, like pretty quickly. I know it would kind of change the vibe, but I've clicked on this video. I'm new to your channel. I don't really know what I'm getting myself into when I give a new creator a chance. And then this is like a lot of preamble, and I'm not even sure like I've clicked on the right thing because there's no gameplay or anything.
Just play it for another 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Where reality bends under the hum of a radio signal. Developed entirely by Christoph Nessel, a solo developer who spent over 5 years bringing this nightmare to life.
It's just not enough fair, is it, in the hook, especially in the hook in the intro?
Yeah. We're not getting much. I want to see the things you're talking about. Like there should be B-roll.
Yeah.
And I know you pointed this creator out, so I know I'm going to keep going back to them. It's kind of annoying, but I just want to see when you look at one of their videos, the bonkers story of Kane and Lynch.
Back in 2007, a game dropped called Kane and Lynch.
I'm already like instantly hooked because the bonkers story of Kane and Lynch, and then I'm hearing somebody tell me a literal story, and I'm seeing footage from the game. Like it's so fast that my brain calms down. Like I am in the right place. I did click on the correct thing. And your content kind of gives me that little bit of anxiety in the back of my mind. It's like, wait, so is there going to be gameplay? Like, is the whole video going to be like this? That's a question I think we don't really talk about enough. Like, people click on your video for the first time and they ask themselves, is the whole video going to be like this? Without even, that's not like in their frontal lobe. They're just already starting to make the decision whether they're going to keep watching or not. So much of your video is like this with no B-roll of the game. I'm legitimately concerned that it is just going to be you like this the whole time talking.
Just track the mouse over the timeline down. Don't actually click on anything. But so like it looks as if they do start to talk about the going to the game, but there's just this minutes blocker at the very beginning.
Yeah,
and it's so important to get that bit right. I would be curious to know what the audience view duration is in that first minute and how many people the creator's losing.
Yeah, I have to imagine it is not a small number. I know this is one of your better videos from a month ago, but I'd say if your outlier score is going off because you've got 1,000 views, you still have a long way to go. There's still like a nice chunky road ahead of you. You should be proud of 1,000 views. Don't get me wrong, but I think that you could do even better. You've picked a game and subject matter that people are obviously interested in. I think the intro could have brought in a lot more watch time and therefore even more views if it was changed. All right.
All right.
Memes.
Yeah.
I see someone typing. I want to give them like an extra second to get their meme in, but we're going to look at a channel based on our favorite meme. So they have, I'll just give them a couple seconds here. And Vicky, are the memes safe for work? Can we pull them up?
Streams.
Yeah, can we pull them up without YouTube getting upsetty spaghetti with us?
Parental guidance.
Okay, that interesting. I saw a message typed in a completely different language. Yes. Okay.
Yes. All right.
All right. So let me go back to the top. Let me pull this up and let me make it full screen. Or, oh, better yet, I will do. I always have to remember which one. It's this and that. There we go.
There you go, Dan. Nicely done.
Okay. So
meme.
This is what you memed. POV, my non-YouTube wife rating my videos.
That's a good one. That I like it. It took me half a second to work it out, but yeah, I like that.
Trying to figure out why this video worked.
Yeah,
we've been there.
Feel that.
Using arrows to get 1 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use 6 to 7 arrows. Ha ha ha! Get it? 'Cause 6, 7. Let's see. When Rob thinks he's getting a week off, when Dan steals that week for himself.
But look what they've done with the number as well. They've added 10 out of 10. Nice extra work there.
Yeah,
I applaud that.
Eat your way to 1 of 10.
Mm-hmm. Certainly try to do that over Christmas.
When your video ranks for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
When the video you hated making does well. Yep.
That's a good one.
All right. Wait, it's hard to read.
Come on, I can't even read these.
Cooking up a formula to make a 1 of 10.
White text on a yellow background.
Yeah.
Lime green text on a lime green background on a white text.
Yeah.
Move on. I just can't. I can't. My eyes hurt.
Without the blue glasses, Rob is only 1 of 10. Ouch.
I'm hoping to get that fixed soon. I'm going for my eyes testing so I can get some new glasses.
Apparently I cooked, although I'm not sure about the taste. Fair enough. That's pretty funny. All right. What do you think?
So Dan, I think it is a choice between which just scroll down for a second.
This one?
So no, the up one. When the video you hated making does well, it's a toss up between that one and then the wife one at the very top. I'm just wondering if we've already audited either of these two channels. Card Catch Quest. I don't think we've audited that channel before. And was it Phil Hawkins?
Yeah. Geeky pop culture news discussion.
Oh, right. Okay.
Red
Dwarf.
Ooh.
Let's. I think you laughed at this one as well, didn't you? Whereas the wife one,
it kind of went over my head.
All right.
I'm kind of a dumb person, so
Phil Hawkins gets it by a nose.
Let me pull the channel up.
Mm-hmm.
And let me move over here.
Thanks for the memes. I'll try to remember to actually meme them next week for you all.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to do a bumper 3 weeks worth in one.
All right. 7.65K subscribers, 1,000 videos.
They are busy.
Busy indeed. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you are covering the war between land and sea. That is good. That's the newest Doctor Who thing. And then you have to wait until December to get anything else.
Right. So I guess, Dan, what we need to look at here is they've covered Doctor Who for a period of time over the last few weeks, and the videos are averaging, let's say, between 500 to 2,000 views, a couple of outliers here and there. Keep scrolling down. So it's more Doctor Who here. There is one Red Dwarf one there. So what I'm interested in is the view counts. So like Red Dwarf there, even though that is a very different sci-fi sitcom, I would almost describe it as, got good views.
Mm-hmm.
So they're able to switch TV shows and still perform relatively well, which is surprising and impressive. But this essentially feels like a Doctor Who channel to me, with the odd, I can't help myself, so I have to review Superman channel.
Yeah. And the channel I go to typically for
BBC shows. Yeah. Not quite.
The channel I go to typically for Doctor Who like coverage is called Who Culture. And just in the name alone, you can kind of sense that they've completely niched into just that. So they'll talk about Doctor Who spinoffs, and that's it. The culture like family of channels. That's just one of many channels that they have.
They've got wrestling. They've got what else have I got? Star Trek ones as well, from what I can remember.
Like if we go down, I think on their if we scroll down, I think their other channels are represented here. Yeah. Trek culture, What Culture, Star Wars, horror, comics. I think it all started here with What Culture, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of their answer to this. I'm not saying that should be your answer necessarily, but like when you look at the Red Dwarf video, it's kind of like, wow, is there like a whole series you could do on this? But your focus is still kind of like Doctor Who and Doctor Who crossovers and spin-offs and things, that this would confuse your audience. But this has to be really confusing for you. 38,000 views on something that has nothing to do with Doctor Who.
Yeah, I think what probably carried that was it was a big story within that topic, that the show was being cancelled or not being renewed, whatever happened there. What are the most popular videos on the channel? Just out of curiosity. Given that they've done 1,000 videos, I'm guessing this may go back a couple of years.
5 years ago. I remember this being a big story too.
Yeah. But that Red Dwarf one, that's interesting. That the Red Dwarf one is ranked at the very highest, on the highest row.
Yeah. Now, I haven't heard the name Red Dwarf in a long time, and if there was a new special that was just canceled, there's not much more. It's not like you can make a whole Red Dwarf channel. You know what I mean? Like, if they're not doing anything with the IP at the moment, and I have to, as a Doctor Who fan, I feel you on that too, because they're not doing anything with that right now. Like the spinoff, I think is wrapped. It's going to start playing in America soon. Not much to say. Like they're going to wait a whole year now before we get any more show. And there's some other stuff. There's different types of Doctor Who media out there you could talk about. Who Culture tends to do some like theory crafting and stuff. But they definitely lower their upload schedule when the show is on hiatus. And that's kind of the nature of like TV coverage channels, I think. Yes, that is true of Doctor Who. So the other channels I watch that do TV coverage typically cover things that are kind of like from the same kind of show bucket. Like you would imagine a channel that covers Severance would also cover Pluribus. They're both Apple TV shows. They're both kind of like fantastical dramas in like fictional kind of worlds, highly critically acclaimed. I forget the name of them now, but I've brought them up in the past as well. So you could go down that route of covering sci-fi shows that Doctor Who fans might like Star Trek, which you're doing. But I think you should do that more consistently, like give more equal time to Star Trek and Doctor Who and Red Dwarf and like, you know, whatever sci-fi show kind of makes the most sense, or go all in on one show. And that's kind of the choice I think you need to make just for a channel focus here.
I think that they certainly continue to look at the news stories, because the one about what it means Doctor Who's partly revealed 2026 Christmas special, that's an outlier. As you said, Dan, because they're now off season, and I'm sure many fan channels suffer with this, is how do we fill in the blanks until we have new content to look at? So it's about finding a bucket, really, isn't it? Like a really unique and refreshing way to look at already existing Doctor Who content. This might be finding like 100 different pieces of trivia. I know this sounds like bonkers, but it's going to have to be something kind of fantastical and new, but a brand new, fantastical way to dissect the existing content, so that it gets to a point where people, sure, they're going to tune in for the new stuff and the updates that you're giving them, but they're also tuning in for just your unbeatable knowledge or the way you present existing lore or trivia or video essays, however you want to phrase it, conversations on because there's enough of a catalog there to create content on. The one I look at often is, I've forgotten, I think it's RJ Cowan or Ronan. They do a lot of Star Trek deep dives from like the older series, like nothing new from, well, some new stuff, but also like from my era, Next Generation, DS9, Voyager. And they're making content about stuff that ended 30 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
But it's kind of refreshing and nostalgic, and it makes you look at the content in a brand new, fresh way. Those are the kind of best offerings I can give you to stay relevant in between the shows when they're being broadcast.
I know when the show was picking up production again, Russell T Davies went out on Instagram and showed a lot of behind the scenes. So you'll have those opportunities, hopefully, as we get into like the shooting of the Christmas special. the Billy Piper conversation is really interesting. You could do. I always like to see someone do a rational take, and I would love to see a rational take on this because I've seen some really wild theories about this reveal. You know, let's be realistic. Look at the writing that has befallen the show for the last couple of years, and maybe take from it and give a more rational perspective of like what you think is actually going to happen when that Christmas special comes out. There's all kinds of different ways you can dissect things. Or yeah, you could even look at the older content, look at what other channels are doing at that. There's a lot of different directions you can go. But hey, let's not forget, we're already like over 7,000 subscribers. You have a lot of good outliers here. I think you're doing some stuff right. It's just finding that consistency, not in your upload schedule necessarily, but like in the way you cover sci-fi shows or the way you cover Doctor Who. Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
What a smooth aftertaste that is. Do I want to get yoked or do I want to be a thrustmaster? I don't know. Absolutely trash. "2026 is upon us, and that means it's a new year of savagery. It's great. It's fantastic. And I just heard the greatest news ever. Red Dwarf is coming back. That's fantastic. Can you imagine this live stream finally told me some good information? I love Rimmer. I love the cat. I love Lister. I love them all. I'm so happy. Crichton is the best. I'm so happy that on this live stream I found out that Red Dwarf is coming back. What a great show. Thank you for explaining that to me, Dan. I'm so happy. I bet you there's no bad news you could give me that would upset me because that's great news. That's great.
Yeah. It was canceled.
Savage. You know what you are?
How did it get canceled? Didn't it just get renewed? You just said it got renewed.
You are a Sneak Heed.
Nah, bro. Let me tell you, the greatest show ever. It's ever been on the history of everything. I got it all. I got all my grandmama. Let me tell you, it's the best. It's the greatest show. Look, yeah, it's already bad. Then here's what we do. 2026, we got to make sure that everything gets put back right because we know 2025 screwed everything up. So, number one, let's get Red Dwarf back. Let's get the petition going. Let's go. And then, of course, in 2025, we lost a very great thing. Terrible. I'm so sad about it. I'm actually still upset about it. To be honest, really upset me that people allowed this to happen. Catfish got canceled. We can't let that happen either. That's a great television show too. And it really shows the people out there doing the savagery on the dating apps. I love it. I love it. We need to bring that back. I was a catfish once. I love being a catfish.
Oh my God.
Are you here for any particular reason, Savage, or just
It's just 2026, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm just here to do the 2026 Happy New Year type thing. We made it another 365 days or 366 on a leap year. I don't even. What was the purpose of a leap year anyway? Can someone explain that to me? What is a leap year for?
Because the sun goes round the.
No.
Uh-oh.
Seriously, there.
We found the hole in this theory. Okay, why is there a leap year? Go ahead.
The Earth goes around the sun 360. It takes 365 days and 6 hours for the Earth to go around the sun. Isn't that the answer?
Yeah,
So
the
you
Earth is actually a disc. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
it's flat. We knew it. There it is. Dan is a flat earther, and we knew this was coming.
YouTube's terms of community guidelines broken in the first live stream.
I wish that would.
Oh my God, this has gone crazy. Okay, listen, we'll do one New Year Savage audit. One,
really?
Because even though normally I charge a lot of money for these things, I also feel like I should give back. I don't know why. Particularly, I think it has something to do with tax returns. Something about like charitable giving. I get to write that off. So let's go ahead and let me write this off.
Okay. Just do #Savage. I don't have that set up, so I'm just gonna pick someone.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Who wants some of this savagery? Make sure that your channel is terrible, and it'll make it super easy.
Make sure your channel's terrible.
I mean, that's 90% of the people in here, so it shouldn't be that hard. You should be able to find someone in here. Type in #Savage. I'm gonna make you feel bad about yourself. So go ahead and do that.
Can we submit our channel, Savage, if it's terrible?
I think that's too on the nose. We're not gonna do that today. We're gonna wait until we rebound before we do that. It's gonna be a good time at that point, though.
Okay. I will randomly pick this one.
How come you have to randomly pick it? First of all, your random is not very random. Why is it that you can't use the little thing that's built into this thing?
Because I didn't set that up. I didn't know you were going to be here.
Goodness gracious. You had one job. Ain't that about a block?
Savage, hurry up! I'm getting
Got an egg
hungry.
waiting for you. You're always waiting for the egg.
Yeah, no, Caesar salad today, so come on.
Well, trust me, it ain't going nowhere.
People
if it gets cold, that's actually a better thing. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right.
People are making channels like no videos on them. Okay, so
that's the Savage way. That's why we do it. That's how we get the most money.
So I have this here.
You don't pay no copyright for those.
Where is YouTube? Okay, here we go.
All right. Quiz Pulse. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? All right, let's take a look. Oh, not the 6-7 thing. Good God almighty.
Yeah, Savage, explain to me what 6-7
It seems like a genuine reaction.
I'm still trying to understand the 6-7 thing. And look, 1,000 people watch that. Ain't that a real commentary on today's youth? I don't know what else to say. Then that's just a sad commentary on where we are today, where you can talk about a 6 or a 7. And for some reason, that's entertaining. Couldn't even tell you why. Those numbers been around for as long as I remember. At least since the 90s. 6 and 7 been around at least since the 90s. So I don't know why they're just now getting popular. They never, what's the difference? 6, 7. Ain't that some stuff? 7, 8, 9. Did you hear about that? That's why 7 got hungry, because he ate 9. That's one of them dad jokes. All right, guess the word by emojis. Emoji Quiz Challenge 2026. 5 days ago. Were we in 2026 5 days ago? Let me check. What's today's date?
The 6th.
Oh, yes, we were. Look at that. Congratulations. You actually got it right. What is the skibididdy? That's with a toilet. I don't know about that. Dog Wolf. Who wins? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this Joker versus Deadpool? I'd watch that. Let's click that real quick. I'm kind of curious. Joker versus Deadpool. Let's see who will win.
Movie showdown where only one trending film can take the crown.
Uh-oh.
Deadpool and Wolverine or Inside Out 2 action or emotion.
Oh my God. Okay. This is what they call. Look, I don't know what to tell you about this. There's a term for this. It starts with the letters AI and ends with something with pop. And I think that it's something to do with that. AI pop. It's not like the soda pop.
All right.
AI pop. Can we call it AI pop? AI pop. Don't do AI pop. Don't do that. Drink water. I need you to understand that this. Can you imagine someone met someone? They said that's their real voice. Wouldn't it be interesting if you met that person? You walking down the street, you're like, "Hey, how you doing?"
That would be a viral video, wouldn't it? I met the AI voice guy. Yeah.
You know what? I actually know the guy. Look in Carl Jobs. Put him in the thing. Listen to his voice. Put it in. KIRLJOPDS. Look him up. Carl Jobs. He sounds just like that. No, it's KARL.
Oh yeah, K. That's right.
KARLJO. There you go. Carl Jobs. Click that.
I've heard.
And now listen to this dude's voice.
Hello,
this dude, he's got great videos, but I'll tell you, his voice puts you to sleep.
Hello, you absolute legends. This is me in the year 2002, 23.
That's his actual voice. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, that's actually what he sounds like.
Legends.
Can you imagine that that's not an AI? That's what AI was trained on. Carl Jobs. They were like, look, man.
Okay.
We need to figure out what an AI voice sounds like. That sound dry as toast. It's gotta sound dry as a cat's mouth. You know when a cat licks your arm and it feels like sandpaper? I hate that. I hate that. That's a terrible feeling.
This stream. Okay. Well, thank you. Yes, Dr. Savage, for jumping in.
His eggs and salad are waiting for him. He's got to hurry off.
Appreciate it, Savage. Happy New Year.
His omelet salad.
Okay, I'm gonna hit end stream now. So goodbye.
Let's hit end Savage first. There we go.
Okay, yes, you're all dismissed. We'll see you next week, and you make some YouTube videos.
Thank you for the memes. Love you all. See you next week.